Kameliia, very nice to meet you in person and to have you here at HoS Sound.
Yes, likewise. Thank you. Very happy to be here. Finally.
Super nice. And I wanted to ask you one question. What is one of the first good memories you have with music?
I was thinking about this question. It's funny because maybe when I was the one thing that came to my mind was when I was teenager, like 12 or 13, I was dancing in front of my mirror and really vibing to this hip hop music. So that's the only thing that I can think of actually when I was a teenager and dancing to this music in front of my mirror alone.
At the time, I assume you were not producing or making music yet.
No, that was way before then. Yeah.
Did you play any instruments when you grew up?
No, not really. I was always doing sports. I was doing running for like 6 or 7 years professionally, like when I was younger. Yeah, so it was never really.
Interesting with the running. So if we're doing that professionally, did something from that mindset translate into the way you approach music right now?
Like I would say the discipline, because we were always running 5 to 6 times a week, which is quite a lot for a young person, and this was a good discipline. Like I knew I was enjoying doing it, and I knew that, okay, today I need to do this. So I was there. There was not like, I would cancel this to do something else, like go out with friends. I was like, I want to do this. I wanted to do this, and I was doing it. So discipline.
Committed to your craft or your path?
Yeah, to some point, like to some point. Yeah. I think I quit running when I was 18 or like 19.
You quit, and were you doing music already at the time?
It's when I was starting to be interested in doing music, so it switched from this to that. So I could never do both because it would be too much,
Yeah, it's a commitment.
It's a commitment, after like 5 or 6 years of running, I'm not sure, I think I was almost 19. I felt like my body was destroyed, and I was thinking like, do I really want to do this all life? And I came to the point where I was like, no, not really. And then I was getting to know some friends who were into DJing and techno, and basically this is how it started.
And that's how it evolved.
Yeah. I started first with DJing just for fun at friends, and then after a year I was like, okay, but it might be fun to produce music. And I had a friend that showed me a little bit Ableton Live, and I was like, wow, that's really cool,
Yeah. It's super interesting, and I know you studied as well. You graduated last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I studied for actually 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
And what was the subject? So music related, right?
Well, first one was 1 year of music theory, where I had some piano and basically music theory, like for 1 year, because I thought it would be cool to know something about it before I start with the electronic music, like electronic music composition.
Yeah.
Or like sound engineering, So, and it was actually COVID times.
Yes.
So it was so bad, really bad. It was different times, but helped a lot.
It helps like to progress, like
just the whole the whole 4 years study music helped a lot. It had nothing to do with techno.
Yes.
But I'm gonna get back to this. It had nothing to do with techno, but it was very helpful in many ways.
Yeah.
Just a quick word before we go back to the interview. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast. I'm Joseph, and this is the HoS Sound Studio. If you enjoy this content, please consider liking and commenting on this very episode, and also following us on the platform where you listen to or you watch the podcast, but also follow us on social media. And if you like this guest, consider checking their masterclass on our website. See in the description, there is a link that directly takes you there with also discount code. Once again, thanks so much for watching and listening to the podcast. We love what we do. I hope to see you soon on a dance floor.
For example, when you think about what you studied in these 4 years and how you make music today, what was the most helpful part?
I guess working with other people and just having the experience to work in the studios they had. They had insane studios with like insane equipment. And it was also the time, it was COVID times. No one was doing anything. Everyone was like just making music or mixing music. It was good times in a way,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it seems like it had a positive impact on your life and your craft.
It did, because back then I was still like very, very new into the music production, and I learned like from working with people that were doing pop music or like playing instrumental music. I did learn some very cool stuff that later helped me in my musical approach nowadays.
Yeah, fair enough. And you use a lot of vocal samples. They tend to be your voice, or you?
Yeah. Sometimes it's just samples, or sometimes I'm just watching a movie and I'm like, oh, that would be actually cool, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I have some release tracks with some vocal samples.
Yeah.
These samples are from my friend. We recorded them in the studio a couple of years ago, and then I used them. Again, we had this access to these amazing studios, microphones, equipment, which was very cool.
Perfect. Now you record it. It's also a good way to play with other people.
Yeah, with non-techno people, like none of them like techno, listen to techno. I was the only one, and I felt like outsider a little bit with these people, you know.
Yeah. And when did your, let's say, passion, or when did you start liking techno? That you felt, I want to do this?
Actually, when I was maybe 16 or 17, I was listening to Plastic Man, old Richie Colton, stuff like very minimalistic music.
Yeah.
You know, just a drum machine and then just some synth sounds. I think it was Acid, like the TB03.
Yeah. And at the time, were you already thinking to make music?
No. I was just listening to it. Look, no. It came after I learned how to DJ. And then it all became about the production. Then DJing wasn't that fun anymore. It was only about, okay, I want to make music. I want to do this, you know. It was very personal. Yeah. Spent many hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Back then, you know.
Yeah. How long have you been producing right now?
Since 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but first 2 years, I would say, first year and a half, I couldn't even finish a track. That was big problem. Like, I think like all the new beginners, or like the people that just start making music now, it's hard for them to finish track, or at least for me it was like this, because I was just starting new projects every day, and I was like, I will finish this later. Never happened.
Yeah. What do you think was stopping you from finishing?
The lack of knowledge. Really, I just had no idea how to build up the track, how to make the arrangement. I had like the sounds. I had some sounds there, but it was very like, what do I do with them now? Like, how do I combine, like, let's say these 5 sounds? Like now, it's easier.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And now you feel you have knowledge, you have experience, you found your own voice, probably. Like, you do music that sounds like you.
Yeah. Hope so.
Yeah. Do you think you found your voice?
I think I'm on my way, because people recognize my music when I play it. Like, if it's unreleased music, some people do recognize it, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's nice. But again, I think this takes more than 5 years.
Yeah.
It takes the whole life, maybe, I don't know. Yes.
Probably, yes. And I think also it evolves with time.
It evolves with time, yeah. Also, the personal, like, the style changes a little bit. Like, when I listen back to my old tracks, they don't sound like my music nowadays, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the big difference, like, compared to your first tracks and now?
Oh, I guess my tracks are way more mental.
Yeah, now?
I think the first EP I released was more like groovy, like still mental, but like the one track, Less Effects, it's so groovy. Like, I don't make this groovy music nowadays.
Yeah.
Now it's more like straightforward, mental, hypnotic techno. Yeah.
So you would define it, mental, hypnotic. You just say
everything has to be mental, you know? Yeah. If it's not mental, then like melancholic, not necessarily very melancholic, but like mysterious mental. I just call it mental techno. It's hard to explain,
Yeah, I think I get it. I mean,
you get it, right? Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
And what in the way you feel about your music, is there a recurring feeling, emotion that sometimes,
Like, I think I make the best music when I'm super sad. Yeah, but of course, like, I don't wanna be sad to make good music, but it just happens always that if I'm sad, I'm really in the mood to make music. But also, I think it's good to find a good balance when you feel emotionally fine and well. Then I realize that I can also make good music. I don't necessarily need to be super sad to make good music, because there was some period where I was like very happy, everything was good, but I was not inspired at all. And I was thinking, why do I need to be sad to make music? It was weird times, you know.
Interesting. And sadness, for example, from breakup, grief, or
everything, breakups, yes. But it could be everything, you know. When when I moved from my hometown, like in Norway, I used to live in Trondheim, and then I moved to study music, and I had no friends. I was so sad,
Loneliness.
very lonely, like so lonely. And it was COVID times, and I was like, I was getting a little bit crazy, like in my opinion, because I was like lack of contact. And actually, it's when I finished my first EP, you know.
Interesting.
But again, I had no friends. It was COVID times, so it was weird.
Yeah.
But in a way, it turned out to be a little bit like successful. It was good, you know. It was my first record, and
Yeah. And it worked out because it was the start of your body of work.
Yeah, that record, it was sold out in 2 weeks. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of sadness, you created something beautiful that...
Yeah.
Do you think people who were listening managed to connect with your sadness that you experienced when you made the tracks? In this
I don't
case?
think so, because they don't sound melancholic or sad, you know. Maybe it was just in my head that I was like, okay, there's nothing else to do, just go and make music. I was taking a lot of walks, exploring the city, and making music. But I'm happy that it's not like this anymore, you know. I feel like now I found the balance where I can... Of course, you can't be creative all the time, but it's better now. Like, I don't need to be sad to make good music. Now anymore, because
you can be not sad.
I can be happy and still make good music, and then I can be sad and make bad music, you know. Yeah.
Do you make music every day, or what's your weekly schedule?
No. It doesn't work for me every day. Like in the beginning, I was forcing myself a little bit too much to make tracks every day or like every week, and creativity, it doesn't really work like this. You can't really force it. So I guess in the beginning, it's very important to spend time in the studio, like more time in the studio to learn and find new ways of work. But now I have a good workflow, so if I'm very busy, I don't make music. But if I have time, I make music. Like now I don't have time for like a month, I don't make music. And it's fine, I don't stress about it. But before I would be like, wow, it's been too long.
Yeah, before you would stress and feel guilty, I guess.
It would stress me a lot. Like, okay, I don't feel nice, or I don't feel well, I don't make music.
Yeah.
I'm way behind, you know.
Yeah.
But no, not anymore.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy.
It is, because it gives you freedom that you don't feel bad about. Like when you make music, you feel good about it. If you don't make it, you also feel good about it, about yourself. You're not dependent from... Your identity is not linked to...
You just have to enjoy it, but at some point, if you think too much about it, like, okay, why am I not making music? And then you start making music and you end up making bad music because you're forcing the creative process. It's not natural, it's not organic, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking too much about it. And normally, it doesn't really work well for me.
Yeah.
I've deleted so many tracks.
You deleted them after making them, and you were like, no.
Yeah, because I was forcing myself, you know. It's like, it doesn't really sound like me, you know. I didn't like it. It was forced music.
Yeah. Do you have any sort of routines to put you in this state? Why you decide, I'm going to make music today?
Yeah, I like to, like, on the weekends when I have free, like to wake up, make a coffee, not check my phone. I don't like to check my phone in the mornings, and be with clear head, sit down, open my laptop and just start making music on empty, clear head.
Yeah. And that gives you, and we discussed about it very briefly before, is you tend to not spend the entire day in the studio. You spend a few hours.
It's very important, yes. It's very important that like maybe in the morning I wake up, I have a coffee, I make music for like an hour or two, sometimes 3, and then I take a break, I go out, I do something else. Normally on Sundays I have Pilates at 12 p.m. So I'm always there.
Yeah, when you're not traveling.
When I'm not traveling, yes. Now it's been not so much Pilates on Sundays, but if I'm in Oslo, I'm always.
Yeah. Like sport, you need the physical activity to recharge.
Yeah. I do Pilates twice a week with 2 different types of Pilates.
Yeah.
So, but on Sundays, 12 p.m., I'm always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. So if I make music, I know that I will be done by 11:30, so that I can go do my Pilates, and then I will come back home and I will work on it for maybe 2 more hours.
Yeah. And for you feel that's sufficient? I mean, obviously it's sufficient, but do you, what's the workflow? So let's say you have 3 hours only. Do you start only one track, try to finish it in one go?
Only one track, yes. I like to focus on one thing at the moment, and just I always start one track, and then I see if I can finish within the hours I have or the time I have, or if I just mess around and try to find ideas that I might come back to, because I'm always recording a lot of sounds, and then I go back, I listen to them. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I need another day to think about them if I like them. It's different, but it's always one track. I don't like to start a track before I finish a track. Yeah.
And do you think about where this track is going to go, or you focus on finishing the track, you think about releasing it?
No, not about releasing. No, the releases, they come way after the tracks. Like it could be a year after I made the track that I would think like, okay, I might actually want to release the track. But now when I make music, I don't think that much about after I finish. I'm just in the moment, and normally I like the tracks. Normally, yes. But of course, not everything is for releasing. It's important to play them.
Yeah.
Listen them 100 times.
Yeah.
And then maybe. Yeah.
Do you ever get sick of tracks because you listen to them too much?
Yeah. Quite often.
Do you think that that's it's a bias? Meaning like because if you listen to your favorite tracks made by someone else by 100 times the same loop, I think you get sick of it. Like that's normal. Right?
It is. Also, it's like eating food. You can't eat the same thing every day or like every hour. So give it a time. That's why it's good to not listen to your own music 50 times. Listen to it a few times, but then give it a break, and then maybe try it out, play it in a club, and see how people react on it. And then but of course it's important to listen, because sometimes I make tracks and I realize that there are some mistakes which I didn't hear when I was making the track, which I hear after,
in the club.
or like in the club. And then I'm like, wow, why didn't I hear this until now, you know?
Yeah. So. And very technically, like on this note of like mistakes or what works in clubs, like do you have some kind of way to low end? It's one of the things that people care about the most in this genre. Like what is the secret to make a good low end that sounds clean in a club?
I guess to just EQ it. In my opinion, the way you process sounds has a lot to say for the outcome. In the beginning, I would say my low end was not very good, because I was not EQing a lot. I wasn't processing the sounds enough, and now it's more balanced. But it's of course the sound source and the way you process your sounds.
Yeah. And then you test it, with you mentioned before you use headphones, speakers. Headphones not so much, but mainly like speakers, external speakers. And then to test them out when you're at home, do you play them together with something else?
No, not really, but maybe I should do this, But no, not really. Sometimes, because, it's the tracks are not mastered, so anyways they sound different from a master track. But sometimes if I am satisfied with one of my tracks and I have a good mix, then I'm like comparing my new tracks to this one track.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, there are always mistakes. There are no perfect tracks, and I realize nowadays that I make music, and I'm like, okay, I'm aware of this, but why doesn't it sound perfect? Because nothing will ever sound perfect.
For sure. Yeah, letting go of that perfection, I think, is also key to actually release stuff. Otherwise,
yeah. There's not the perfect track, and I know that I have some friends that are very concerned about things like this, and I have that one friend, and it's just thinking too much about perfect tracks, and it's not releasing anything. And I'm like, there's no perfect track,
Yeah. Do you think? I think that's fear. Like it's.
It's a kind of fear, yes. Because also listening to my first EP, gosh, it sounds like the mix downs. Like, oh my god,
you're like, fine.
It's so bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Like why? Like the ideas are great, but the mix downs, wow.
Yeah. But when you're thinking about your own start,
horrible, yes. About the mix downs, yeah.
Do you experience self-doubt? For example, even now, when you are finishing a track and then you're about to send it out, like, do you have these doubts that say, oh, maybe I shouldn't send it?
Sometimes, but not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much, because I'm very selective with the tracks. If I would send them as demos, I don't send all the music I have.
Oh, sure.
I always select the ones that I really like. So, pretty confident about this, yes. But again, I don't really send my music around to randoms. I try to work with people that I know,
Yeah.
which I find much more easier because it's very personal. So I don't want someone that I don't know to release my music
Yeah.
just for money or like whatever, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you get to know? I mean, you work a lot with Sam, Setup Mas, Anil Lamotic, about that.
Well, Sam I met in Norway. We played together. But actually, I got to know him through when I released my first record on Overbalance. This is actually how I got to know Sam, Amotic, on social media, you know.
So sort of before you met in person.
Yeah, before I met them in person, and then it happened that me and Sam played in the same party in Norway. It was in Bergen, it's a city in Norway, and then we talked about music. But it was way back, it was 2022 or 1, I don't remember. Actually, it was a long time ago, maybe 2021, yes. And Amotic, yeah, also from my first EP, yeah. He was always very supportive, you know.
Anil?
Yeah. Like,
He's amazing.
so supportive, yes. I'm so happy I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I think, yeah, and then he was launching, Anil, he was launching his new label.
Amotic Plus?
No, AMTK Plus, yes.
Yeah.
And then he asked me for music, and I was like, yeah, of course. And then we finally met just right before the release in Berlin.
Very cool.
I think it was last year, or like, I don't know, was it last year? I think it was last year. I actually met him for the first time last year.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And the way you got in touch on the internet is because you played your tracks on Overbalance?
Yeah. Anil, yeah, he played them also. Sam as well, yeah. Yeah. So music, you know.
Yeah. Connects you, and then you will start like,
Connections, yes.
Is there a particular track of yours that you feel connected to?
Yes, there's one track, again, released on Overbalance last year. It's called Liquid Sky.
Liquid Sky.
Yeah, because the track is made from bongo recordings, which I recorded with one of my friends in the studio when I studied music. And we did such a long take recording. And the whole sound was like very distorted because, you know, the microphones were way too close and he was playing so loud. But that one particular part there was just perfect, and it sounded just so techno for me. And I was like, this is amazing.
Oh, so interesting. And you use that part for the groove, for lower end groove or something?
Groove. Then I did two different synth sounds with it. I pitched them up and then I pitched them down. And I think it was, I don't remember exactly, but I was processing the sounds a lot, you know. And it's like super mental track, you know. Not my most played track at all, but the track that I enjoy a lot still.
Yeah. But meaningful to you, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was, I really like this track. I remember making it, and I remember I was very much into bongos that time, and I was like, can someone please play bongos for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And a question that is similar to this is like, is there a track of yours that you didn't think is going to be liked by many people, and it turned out to be a big success? A lot of people played it.
Yeah, the one called Less Effects, the one released on the first EP. Like, this is the track that I was like, should we even have it there? Maybe no. Yeah, this one was played everywhere. I was like surprised, even at Boiler Room, you know, it was played everywhere.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, how do you explain this to yourself?
I mean, it's very groovy track, you know.
Simple,
groovy, works well in the clubs. Less effects, yes. That's where the name comes from, yeah. Nothing too deep, it's just, yeah.
Wow, it's wonderful also sometimes, yeah. I wish how many tracks are not being released by artists, because people they doubt themselves too much. And this could be a gift to the world, you know.
I know, but this is very personal. People should work on this to be more confident. You know, it's like everything in life, be confident about it. If you don't believe yourself, then who else will? Yeah,
for sure. It's hard for people to come and pick you up like at home and I want your music.
I know, right? Yeah.
And if you were to think about like what you feel with your music, both when you play and you make music, what do you feel?
Oh yeah, very mental vibes. I love watching true crime. I love watching things about mental hospitals. It's just this kind of vibe, you know, very mental, deep, dark, dramatic vibe. Yeah.
It's a recurring theme for you, it seems like.
Yeah, I love it. I really enjoy this. Because it inspires me a lot, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, and something I wanted to ask you, and feel free. I mean, we can also cut it out if you don't want to answer it. Have you ever been heartbroken, and how did that influence your music?
Oh, in a very nice way. Perfect. It's bad of me to say, but I think when you're heartbroken, you make amazing music. And I think it's not only me. I know a lot of people that actually end up making albums
Yeah, yeah,
in moments like that. Because I think you're just not interested in anything else, you know. Then it's just music. Then it's no one else to fuck up with your head or take your time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a very strong emotion. Like,
Yeah. And then this music is very driven by emotions. So yeah, heartbroken.
yeah, it is a big influential or inspiration for many artists. Yeah, many genres as well.
Yeah. But I like, in my opinion, in my case, I don't necessarily make like super sad music. If I'm heartbroken, I'm just in the mood to work a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, the music is still mental, but not necessarily very melancholic.
yeah. Do you think it's also because it's cathartic? It helps you process your emotion in the state.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a processing or more like escaping. You don't think about the problems. You're just in your own world without any contact to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You isolate yourself.
You isolate yourself, just music, nothing else. You don't care about anyone or about your ex.
That's great.
This case, yes.
It's a positive thing of the painful.
At least one positive thing, from the whole situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you? What does it mean for you to be an artist?
That's a good question, but very deep. I guess it's a way of expressing yourself, because you don't have personal contact with people. Like you don't know all the people that listens to your music or all the people that play your music, but in a way they feel like they know you because of your music. So it's sort of connection, indirect connection.
Yeah.
And I like how people connects you with other people.
Yeah. Does it
in
ever
different
happen?
ways? Yeah.
Yeah, in different ways. And does it ever happen to you that you either one of your sets or one of your production, one of your tracks, someone comes to you, someone you don't know, and says, "I get it," and they tell you something, and it's exactly what you were feeling when you.
Yes, once I didn't meet the person. But I got this message on SoundCloud that one of my podcasts for Vault Session with only unreleased music, and he was like, "This is such a mental journey. This could be used as a soundtrack for a movie." And I was like, "Exactly,
That's what you
right?
wanted to.
Yes, exactly what I wanted. Like that one person got it.
So good.
One person."
Yeah, it's so good, but and also, I mean, there's probably a lot of other people that might be feeling the same, but they will not tell you because whatever,
Maybe yes.
they will not message you.
Also, people are a little bit shy sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this made my day back then.
Yeah, it's super interesting
Yeah.
to think that like this, at least one person, maybe more, that are feeling the same thing you're feeling when you're putting that thing out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm.
Yeah. And in terms of like labels, we spoke about it a little bit before. Like you released on Token, Weisenberg, Amotic Plus, a lot of like really, really respected labels. And what did you learn from working with the label owners?
I learned that it's very important to get to know them because it's very personal. Ever since the very beginning, I think that for me it was very important to be very selective with the labels, because if you want to work with such labels, they kind of check if you, like, I think that they check if you have a lot of previous releases on random labels. You know, it's important to be selective and keep it exclusive, and quality over quantity. You know, like you don't need 10 EPs a year.
Yeah.
It's good to have 2 good EPs, but on good labels.
Yeah. So selective, like that also means say no to other.
Yeah. I don't think that label owners find it very attractive or interesting if producers release music everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's not nice. I mean, I don't find it nice as well. It's not exclusive. It's nothing interesting. Anyone can do this. You know, you should have some goals and.
Yeah. It is also something else, which is like sometimes it feels right. As you were saying before, if you really connect with the owner, like it doesn't have to be a massive label, but if you really connect with the person, the people that are behind them, somehow there's something that speaks to you, you know, that's a good decision.
That's also a very good decision. Yeah, it's not the label that should make you an artist or like famous. It's your music, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think about, oh, this label is hyped, I would like to release my music on the label just because it's hyped.
Yeah.
No, I've said no to hype labels.
Yeah, fair enough.
So.
What about your own label? Have you thought about it?
Oh yeah. I
And
think I'm just not there yet.
in terms of time, energy?
Time, money, experience. Just it's not been enough time. I've not been around for long enough. But yeah, definitely one day is because I'm starting to feel confident about my music. So it would be good to also release it myself one day. But yeah, I am thinking about it for the future.
Yeah. I mean, there's no rush, right?
No, there is no rush, yes, but I just have to, you have to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is right for you? Meaning, when is right? The timing feels good.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
just no, not now. I feel I'm in the very beginning of my career now, and I still, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
in some years, 4, 5, 10.
who knows? Yeah. Are you a person who plans a lot ahead? So, do you think about the next 10 years of your career in music?
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? You know what? Because sometimes if you plan too much, something else might come in the way, and
Yeah.
and then you get disappointed and like super sad. So I don't wanna plan too much. I take it as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. And you enjoy what you're doing right now? So
I love what I do. Yes. I love what I do. But my mom is always like, you should always have a plan B. You know,
fair enough. I mean,
fair enough. Yes, but
so,
yeah, but like a little bit like old school parents. Not that she's old school, but sometimes people get sick. People,
Mm-hmm.
anything can happen. And I don't want to plan my next 10 years. Like I don't want to plan 10 years. I would like to plan my 2025 and 2024, which I'm doing now, and I enjoy doing this, and I think that's already.
That's enough.
That's enough, yeah. But like I'm taking decisions in the long term.
Yeah. Yes, and when you say planning for 2025, 2026, this is basically releases. Gigs
Releases, like gigs. I don't not that much gigs because I don't know what I will be playing in 2026. But mainly releases and music related stuff. I'm planning to play live, so I will do this next year.
Very cool.
For my beloved Anima,
Very nice.
Berlin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Anima Yuval's? No.
No, this is it's an organization from Berlin. It's a crew from Berlin. They make
Flo.
Yeah, Flo is a part of Anima, but Jimmy also is running Anima. He's the main owner of Anima, and they do amazing parties in Berlin, and they work with amazing artists. And I really enjoy working for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to do this for them next year.
Very cool.
Yeah. I just bought the Push standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so amazing machine.
Push that along, which means no computer.
Yeah, no computer. Yeah,
Amazing.
Exactly. I was thinking my computer. Basically, my whole life is in this computer. Imagine if something happens to the computer. So for playing live, I think it's good to not bring your laptop there with you.
I don't know if I saw it. Does it have a screen, like a bigger screen than the Push previous versions?
I think it has a little bit bigger screen. It's the Ableton Push 3 standalone. It has definitely bigger screen than the Push 2 and Push 1. It's very powerful machine, and it's perfect for playing live.
I need to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. It's basically Ableton Live and then what you need to do is just prepare your live set in Ableton Live and just export it to the Push, and then that's it. You could make it very easy. Like I want to make it easy for me because I'm not expert yet, and if I wanna probably my first live won't be my best live, but I work with Ableton Live, so I was thinking, okay, how should I do it in a smart way? And then Push standalone.
Yeah, I need to check it out also because there is a beauty of not having the screen and plus all the considerations about portability. It's like it basically becomes your backup.
Exactly.
You play, you export it. Computer is safe at home.
Computer is safe at home. Yes. Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. I was thinking if something happens to my laptop, what would I do?
But do you do backups or not?
No.
You don't?
I should start.
No, you should. Like right now, when you go back to office, do.
I'm always like, nothing will happen. Or I'm like, I will do it, and I never do it. So I should do it.
Yeah, it's so easy. I mean, cloud, I do cloud and also hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get so paranoid about these things. I have four hard disks.
You have?
Yeah.
So just that you're safe.
Just that I'm safe, and I do copies in each of the four. Whenever I travel with my computer, I just copy 4 times, plus one on the cloud.
But why, did you have any bad experience? Yeah, that's why, yeah.
When I was very young, my computer before I was making music, even like my computer got erased twice.
No,
I lost
really?
everything. I had like all the pictures and stuff. Since then, I was like, oh,
How
shit.
did you survive this?
I mean, cried a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna buy a hard disk.
I bet, yeah, no, man, this is the worst, yes.
Yeah.
When you know that you can't get it back, you'll be like, how,
Yeah.
it's gone forever.
Music projects, because there's
Music projects, yes. I also had some
photos.
Yeah, pictures. I also had some problems with Ableton Live projects where I was exporting stems and I didn't collect all and save, and I deleted the sounds, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that happens a lot with. Have you ever prepared a live set or not yet?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, do collect and save, and because that happens a lot.
It's exactly what I'm doing, yes. Because if you want to export the project from your laptop to the push, you have to collect all and save anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it forces you to actually do that, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
With live, especially when you are using different projects in the same live projects, then eventually it's very easy. Some parts will be lost.
It is.
Yeah.
Collect all and save.
Rule number one.
Rule number one, yes.
Collect and save.
Rule number two, do backups.
Backups, exactly.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted to ask you about your DJ sets. I read in another interview that your sets tend to be dynamic and escalation of power. So you start like usually with less energy and then
Less dynamic tracks, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, this is the way, I think, in my opinion, the way you build up a set. I can't just start with the bangers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to take the people on the journey. Like mental journey, all my tracks are like, I have some very mental tracks, and also I've noticed that I can't only play mental tracks because not everyone gets this deep tracks, and sometimes people are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you actually, how much attention do you pay to the people while you're playing?
Oh, I do pay attention. I'm still there, I know there's some DJs, they don't look at people, but I think they're like, maybe they're very confident and they've been doing this for like, I don't know, 20 years. They don't need to look at people. They know that they do it great, but sometimes I look at people, and nowadays it's much better. But I've had some moments where it wasn't perceived very well.
In what sense? That you're looking too much? Or...
No, the music I was playing wasn't exactly the right one for the crowd, and then it could have been like, if I was looking more or if I was paying more attention, then I could have played different music, like not too mental, like not too, I don't know, slow, or like, stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. It's good to calibrate sometimes.
It's good to pay attention, like not too much, because you're not there to please people.
Mm-hmm.
You're there because of your work, because you got there because people like you, like the bookers like you. You're there because it makes sense that you're there. So I don't pay too much attention, but of course I look at the people. Yeah. I smile. Sometimes we do cheers.
Yeah, I think also the problem sometimes is that interpreting what the crowd is doing, it might be misleading. For example, you're in a club, people go to smoke. Like Berlin is different, but you're in a small club, and at some point the dance floor is empty. You think, is my music sucks, but just people want to smoke.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Luckily not now lately, but I actually had this in London.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's a clear thing, right? Because in London you absolutely cannot smoke anywhere indoor. So people at some point just go.
I think that's it's a main problem, Some people are just there to be in the toilets. We spoke about it. The toilet meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Toilet meetings.
Yeah. People can spend hours in the toilets. They just go to do one thing and they end up, Yeah,
you basically go to a communal toilet with some music in the background sometimes.
Yeah. Some people, they meet their boyfriends and girlfriends in the toilets.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's one of the hardest or craziest situations that happened to you while playing?
I don't know, like hard situation for me was when I played in Oslo once last year, and we did request at least 3 CDJs, and I had only 2. They were not linked, and I had emergency loop on one of them. And then the second one also got fucked up, and I was like, what am I doing? There was no sound technician there, you know. It was horrible. It was a very stressful situation. But other than this, you know, sometimes the sound just stops. I was playing in Paris and the sound just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was on my headphones and I didn't realize I was playing.
And you had only that's
And I only had my headphones in it. And I was in the transition, I was mixing tracks, and then I saw that people were just standing there and not dancing. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? And I realized that there was no sound.
And then maybe you think I'm deaf now. And I'm like, I can't hear anything.
I just took off my headphones and I looked at the people and I was like, oh, wow.
And what happened? Like, was...
Oh, no, they fixed it eventually after like a couple of minutes.
Yeah. What's your definition of success?
Good question, also deep. Like we spoke about it, it's important to enjoy it and also earn from it, you know, because if I would enjoy it and then be miserable, like if I can't pay my bills in the end, then I don't find this as very successful. But if I like have a good balance where I enjoy what I make, what I do, and I still can do it and live from it, and it's being perceived well from people, and I reach my goals, I find this as successful, you know, like to have different goals, to reach them, and to enjoy the journey, and then also to get something from it for yourself.
Which also I think allows you, so I think, especially in techno, underground techno, there's a lot of talks, like it seems like money is like evil, like you shouldn't make any money at all, but like if you don't, you're not going to do this forever. You know?
I know, right? And if you don't make any money out of it, how are you going to keep doing it, you know?
Exactly.
Then you probably have to go and work something else.
Yeah, you probably need to accept things that you wouldn't accept if you are safe.
Yeah. But it's also different, you know, some people sold themselves out for money, you know. They started doing more commercial stuff just because of money, you know, or like playing hard techno just because it's more money in this, probably. Yeah, it's good to have a balance. Like I don't want to say never, but at this point I like what I'm doing, and I like that it's going the way that I want, you know.
What's a mindset that you have that has helped you being successful in this way?
Discipline, and have like clear decisions in your head. Like I knew what I wanted from the beginning. Like this, for example, when I studied music, it was mainly guys. We were only 2 girls, and I think 99% of them didn't know what kind of music they wanted to do.
At university?
In university, yes. And I think that it's very important, like if you want success with one particular thing, it's very important that you know from the very beginning what you want, you know. You want to do this type of music, you go for this type of music. Yeah.
Do you have, is there something that people tend to get wrong about you that is recurrent?
I have people tell me that I look very serious on pictures. I'm so not serious. No. I'm super childish, you know, sometimes. Yeah, some people like, you look like so serious, or
like press pictures, or...
Yeah, also on my Instagram, also before they met me, that I look very serious, or like if I have a drink in the club, like one of the promoters were like, oh, I didn't know you do this, and I'm like, what? Have a drink? Why not?
What's this?
Why not? It's like, we are in a club, you know?
Yeah, it's so interesting. So, and do you have mentors or people that throughout these years helped you when you have questions or you need the help?
This year, or like in general?
In general.
I am, my friends being very supportive, my non-techno friends being super sweet, coming up to the parties, and you know. I guess the people that I surround myself with. Also my family, they're very supportive, you know. I really like that they take it serious, you know. Because I take it very serious, and I always tell my mom, don't tell your friends that I'm only a DJ. Tell them that I also make music, that I want to live from it. You know, it's a whole story, you know. Yeah.
What's the narrative that your parents use, you know, when they speak with other people? Like,
well, you know, like from parents' perspective, this is like it's not. I'm not a doctor, you know.
You're not saving people's lives.
Yes, I'm not saving people's lives, and it can be perceived a little bit like, is this can you do it the whole life? Like, obviously I can't do it whole life, you know. Obviously I'm not gonna do it when I'm 50 or 60, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to be thinking, what am I gonna do when I'm 60? Because I want to be in the present time. I don't want to be in like 30 years ahead. 35 actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they?
So they support my decision when I was finishing my high school in Norway. I told them I would like to study music, and they were very supportive about it. They were not like, oh, but you should maybe study something else. I said, no.
Very good.
They were always very supportive, and they gave me the choice. You know, if I want to do this, I do this. If I don't want to do this, I do something else. It's up to me.
Yeah, and that's great. You think this allowed you to like really helped you?
Yeah, because I was never forced to do anything I don't want, you know, so I always did whatever I wanted, you know, and I always learned from my mistakes, because there were some mistakes that I did, and they could have told me, oh, don't do this, don't do it, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
And then I would never learn, you know. So
yeah, fair enough.
So I like this kind of parents that are not very conservative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the progressive, like, I guess that would be
more modern.
Yeah. And support.
I want to be like this someday.
Did they ever ask you what are you gonna do when you grow up? Like, you know?
Yeah, about kids, you know, like young kids, stuff like that. Yeah. With the time, you know.
At some point.
Let's relax.
There is a label first. You know?
Yeah. Let's relax. I told them I'll give it couple more years, you know, and if it doesn't work, I can always do something else, you know. Like I can study something if I'm 40, you know. No, completely no problem. Yeah.
That's another big thing that I think would relax a lot of people if we realize, which is sometimes the worst case scenario is not that bad. Like, we play in our head like as if this fails is the end of life. Like,
it's not like I know it's not like 1950 or like whatever. You know, in 2024, we can do whatever we want when we want. You know, it's a free world.
Exactly.
Like, not everywhere, but you know, in Europe.
Yeah, we're very lucky that we have flexibility.
We are very lucky also that we live in this kind of countries.
For sure, yeah.
It's peaceful, no war.
No war, no bombing.
Yeah.
Okay, economic situation.
Yeah, for most people, yeah.
Yeah. And what's something that it's a passion of yours that nobody has asked you about, or you never talk about it outside of music?
Pilates.
Pilates? Yeah. Okay,
I love Pilates, you know. Yeah. Like, I do Pilates twice a week. I have normal Pilates on Tuesdays, and I have Pilates HeAT on Sundays, which is high intensity interval training. It's amazing. Like, from my mental state to my mental health, it's perfect. Like, I feel amazing after Pilates.
Yeah.
And it's not yoga. Okay, it's Pilates. People always ask, oh, is it like yoga? It's not exactly like yoga. It's more hard.
What do you like about it?
The feeling after. It's very refreshing, you know. I can't explain you, but it's like it's like meditation for me, because I don't really meditate. But Pilates, I think it has similar effects on me.
Yeah. Do you think that it also, as a side effect, helps your way of making music? It makes you more calm, more relaxed?
Yeah, I think so. Makes me be a little bit more patient and keep me sitting. I find it very hard to sit on chair.
Thank you for being here for now.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know how long time it's been, but we've been sitting for.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, it's Pilates is all about breathing techniques and good balance. So also it makes me more balanced in life when I have hard situations, and I'm a very impatient person. I don't want to wait. I don't have time to wait. I want everything to happen now.
Yeah.
Pilates helps for this.
Yeah. And a question that is related to, you know, being an artist. What could be a good way for someone to connect with their audience in an authentic way?
Just being very humbled and not thinking that you're the big star there, because you are not. Like, imagine, okay, you're maybe the headliner, but imagine what would you do there without the people, you know?
Yeah.
So don't be too cocky.
Yeah. And this talking also about the music scene today. What's one of the most uncomfortable truths that you had to accept about this music industry?
That gender has a lot to say, you know.
In terms of, for example, of male identifying people having more opportunities than non-male? Yeah,
I think that nowadays being a female, it's advantage.
Yeah.
And I don't like this, you know. I don't like that. There are many more talented guys that has to prove themselves harder than some pretty female.
Yeah.
Like not always, because there are also a lot of very talented females that get the right amount of attention, but there are also some that, you know, obviously gets a little bit more and don't really deserve that much.
I don't know how I feel about this specifically, because I think is that probably a necessary phase that we need to go through, because before it was the opposite. Like, you know, if you're a male, that's kind of what DJs are considered. DJs are like traditionally male, you know, in history.
Mm-hmm.
And now we need to go through a phase where we need to go on the other end to make sure that eventually is going to be a balance. Do you think that is the case, or just now it's a distortion of how the industry works?
Honestly, I'm a little bit unsure, because I've heard very like interesting statements or comments that like if you have this lineup, like let's say you have a party and if you have this lineup and there's only guys, people will comment it like, why is there only guys? And there might be not a particular reason, you know.
Yes.
But if you have a party with only females or like release with only females, nobody will say anything.
There is only female.
There is only female, but if it's only
yeah.
guys, I read judgmental comments like hateful comments. Oh, you're not giving any chances to females or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Probably it has nothing to do with this, you know, or maybe it has, you know. Like I don't know myself, but I don't think that.
Yeah. We'll see with the years.
We see with the years, yes.
Yeah.
But
It's a tough thing to understand. I mean, like there is definitely, I think after the pandemic, there's been a lot of positive changes in terms of diversity, access, opportunities being created for people. One thing that I really, I think, like is in lineups or the builds how are presented, the headliners, I mean, normally most lineups are in alphabetical order anymore. There's no much headliners. And if you look at even clubs like Berghain, for example, there's a lot of diversity, a lot of new artists.
Definitely a lot of new artists and quite equal amount of females and males, you know.
And non-binary and like, you know, there's a much more variety than 5 years ago.
Actually, that really doesn't really matter. As long as there is talent, that should be enough, you know. That's why I don't like that people focus too much on like, oh, it's only males, or like let's say you have this record like a VA. Oh, why is it only males? You know, doesn't like if the music is good. You know, why should we be questioning?
Yeah.
Why is it only females or males? You know, like
the point that I had this conversation many times, and the point that has been raised a lot is representation. So if you are a non-male, let's say you are non-binary, or you're a transgender male or female, or you are a female, and you never see anybody else who is ahead of you who is your same gender, you think that's impossible. It's like, you know, because our human mind works, you just don't see it. You're like, oh shit, I can never do it because I never see it. So I guess that's the purpose of having more of this representation. So everybody feels like it doesn't matter what is my gender, I can do it. That should be the outcome, right? Where everybody can do it if they want to.
Yeah, gender, no matter, as long as there is talent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And to wrap up, I'm going to ask you some quick questions.
Let's get to them.
Let's go. Don't think too much, whatever comes to mind, the first thing. Okay, deep question. What drives you in life?
Oh. Happiness, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And good memories and experiencing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great. If you have to choose one closing track for all of your set for the rest of your life, what would that be?
The one track from Forest Drive West, Creeper.
Okay.
It's a very experimental mental track, you know. No, it's not melodic at all.
I'm gonna check it out.
Definitely do this. I love this track so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Creeper, yeah.
What is a guilty pleasure track of yours?
Oh, do I want to say this?
Something you would never play, just sometimes you enjoy.
It's one track from Britney Spears called Radar. I used to listen to this when I was so young. So like one of the tracks that I used to dance to in front of my window, mirror.
Wow. Okay. Do you still listen to it sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
And then if you were to choose as a preference, play in front of 10,000 people stadium or 20 close friends, what would you choose?
20 close friends, definitely, and then we make a party after.
And you feel like doubted.
Yes, and I have the time of my life, you know, because I know them.
Yeah.
And they will give me so much energy, and
Do you do that? Like get together with close friends, even on DJs, and then just party like for extended period of time in a small space?
No, I don't do this.
No.
We don't have this in Oslo. So I don't have
Yeah.
any techno friends there. Like I have very few techno friends. So yeah, I don't hang out with people in this industry that much because I don't have them around me in Oslo.
In Oslo, yeah.
But in Berlin, you know what? Yeah, I think I've done this a couple of times in Berlin when I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to know. Yeah. And who is one artist, dead or alive, musicians or non-musicians, that you would be stuck on an island, on a deserted island with for a week? And you need to spend all the time with this person, you know? You sleep next to each other, you eat next to each other, you hunt for food, you swim, everything.
GGFM. She looks so funny.
Yeah.
I think we would have amazing time together.
Okay. I need to, like, I've heard her name many times.
I'm going to her birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also Virgo. Yeah, I also have birthday soon, so I really like her, and she looks so funny. Like I think I would have a lot of fun with her on this island. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So at least you make it fun, you know, have a week of fun.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun.
Amazing. I need to check her out more. Yeah.
Yeah. Do this.
What are current projects, plans, things you're working on that you're really excited about?
Well, very excited about the live set next year. Also afraid, scared. Like, what if I fuck it up? What if it's not good enough? But you know what? Nothing is perfect, so there might be some mistakes. But yeah, also one record or maybe 2 records next year. Yes, that I'm excited about.
Very cool.
Yeah, can't talk that much about it now, but I think it will be a good year.
And it will be on any new label that you haven't released on before?
One of them, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. I'd say.
Yeah.
Black Box. Mystery.
Also something very exciting that I didn't even think will happen. It was like not an option in my head, but
It's happening.
it's happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Someone swore that I've been following for I don't know many years.
I think I might have an idea. Let's see. And if you were to decide on a perfect lineup, you have 12 hours. How would you structure it and why?
How would I structure the 12 hours
Who
lineup?
would you choose to play? You have 12 hours. You can choose any slot, anytime.
For myself?
Yeah, you need to. You're a booker of a club. You have 12 hours of time. You need to book whatever number of artists you want. You can choose who is gonna play.
Okay, you know what? Amotic. Me and him, we did great opening set, and I really liked, like, he played maybe the first 20 minutes, and then I played 20 minutes, and then we did back-to-back. I think he would do not only good closing, but also good opening.
I think so too.
Okay, will we do 4-hour sets?
4 hours sets or 3 on. Yeah, it's easy.
Just to make it easy for me.
Perfect.
We have Amotic, and then we have GGFM.
Second. Yeah.
Second, and then closing Mike Rothead. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think these 3 they already played on the same lineup before.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe, yeah, for sure, yeah.
For sure. Kameliia, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the interview and for staying. Thank you.